Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sports Scientist. To my right is your hostess with the mostest, hostess cookies probably. Look at this is disgusting. Dr. Mike Israel. To my left is the hostess with the most soy sauce and bippity bippity bop, or whatever you say. I don't know how to say your food. Charlie Young and Yang and Don Sang. That one too.
All right, that's how it is.
And the guest, Captain All-America over here, Jared light as a feather. I get the haircut of a feather. What feather is it? You look like a little falcon. I love it.
Represents.
You fly. Haka, kaka. All right, here we go.
So anyway, thanks Arnold, a.k.a. Marcos Rodriguez.
Dr. Rodriguez.
Dr. Rodriguez, Doctor of Urban Pharmacology.
That sounds a little...
I was there with your ceremony, when you got the degree.
Right, yes.
Ayurvedic medicine and
Clearly.
Spirituality.
And Arnold voices.
And this is an undergrad degree, let's be completely honest. It's an
I'm
undergrad
working on
with honors, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. I am, as always, your host, Dr. University of Phoenix Online, Mike Israel, sport physiologist. A moment of silence for the recently deceased James Hoffman.
Fuck that, dude. I can't stand it.
I'm kind of glad he's dead.
That was a moment.
Yeah.
Good. That's
James
all he gets.
Hoffman is preoccupied and will not be making the next several podcasts, but we assure you that when he returns for the next series of podcasts, he will be pissed and drunk as always. Today with us, we have, well, I guess they were already sort of introduced, Charlie Jung, RP,
I like your little touchy
athlete relations
I guess.
extraordinaire.
There you go.
He's not that good at his job. He's the best. And Jared Feather, Renaissance periodization coach, IFPA professional bodybuilder, can read, which is good. What else did you do at school when they taught you how to read? What else did they teach
Pose. He poses very well.
you? They taught you to pose at school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That bathroom, the anabolic bathroom at UCM.
That's a good bathroom. If you spend too much time in there, it becomes a catabolic bathroom, if you know what I mean, Marcos.
Skeet. Okay.
So in any case, folks, thank you for joining us. As always, our videographer, who is out of the frame and won't be mentioned by name. And Jared, thanks for joining us here in sunny Philadelphia,
Yeah, it is
where it's
actually.
approximately 150 degrees.
Missouri's pretty good.
Only for fat people, it's like 80 for me.
Yeah.
And probably for you too. No offense, guys.
Oh, it's okay, guys.
Oh, that hurts. Speaking of pain, we collected a series of questions from all of you from the glorious paradise of the internet called Instagram, with which I'm only cursory familiar. And we will throw the questions to Jared and the usual squabbling panel to destroy. Shall we begin?
Let's. Give it to me. I'm right here. Come on.
Do it. Now.
Do it.
Charlie, you good to go? You seem awful shy today. Do you speak? You're like a 5-year-old that like won't speak. Oh my god.
I love that.
Why do you have your glasses on? What do you need to see, motherfucker?
True.
Wow. I'm going to leave that one alone. You know what I mean? People on the internet.
Shit. Jared. Question
Okay.
off of Instagram. Let's get started.
These will be wonderful, I imagine.
Yeah.
Jared, don't be nervous. This was like your browser's audition. Just take it easy, man.
You've done several of those.
Yeah, great.
You'll make it.
Patrick EXSC asks,
Nice.
best advice for someone looking into a bunch of exercise science, sports nutrition, strength and conditioning based master's programs. Any you massed out Mike?
Oh, you are.
You or massed out Mike recommend? By the way, you look absolutely insane, man. At RP Dr. Mike, at RP or at Jared Feather.
Nice.
It's all angles and light work and shit.
So, master's programs, how to find them, Jared?
Well, first, thank you. I don't know if you're saying I looked masked out or you did, but
Me.
and then he
But
said
you
we
look
look
good.
great. Thank you. You're too polite. The scope of exercise science and sports science, they do overlap, but you kind of need to narrow it down a little bit because that's very broad. Like some places in Southern California are really good for if you want to go into like hypertrophy studies in your master's program. Places like ETSU are really good with sports science and working with athletes. But just
That's
kind of
actual experience working with
yeah,
athletes,
absolutely, yeah. And then if you want to go into more of the like physiological parameters and stuff, just places like Cal State Fulton, right?
Yeah.
They have Galpin?
Andy Galpin.
Galpin's down there.
I will say one thing really quick. I believe at Lehman College, just north of New York City, Dr. Brad Schoenfeld is starting his own little master's program, which I believe will be instantly the best master's program for hypertrophy in the country, being that Brad Schoenfeld invented hypertrophy. Charlie, when you were going to electronics assembly school in Korea, how was your experience?
Samsung University.
They have a real university over there now.
Yes.
How was it?
Soul crushing.
So
very good.
Seoul, Korea.
Yeah.
Also very good. Yes. Yeah. Marcos?
Best school for hypertrophy is them streets.
Oh, shit, that's right. 19th Street Gym in New York, actually.
Well, no, just the streets. You know, you
Just
got your
literally.
your little fire hydrant. You got the two things on top. Do some dips. Do some pull-ups on the street
Bar
lamp.
stars.
Oh, that's right,
That's
yeah.
it. Bar stars. Whatever.
And you gotta scream World Star, right? When you're doing it.
Come on.
By yourself.
Why you got to say racial shit like that?
That's
for?
fucked up, Charlie. It's a bit early for that shit, isn't it?
Nah.
He can
I'm
say
good.
it.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm a minority, I think.
I guess. So, next question. Oh. For the teeth. These folks are going right for the teeth.
Oh boy.
A man named 00 Kevin Space.
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, probably, right? If you know what I'm saying. What's with the mohawk? Do you think it distracts with judges, non sequitur, from your physique?
Why the Mohawk Terror? Tell us about your deepest, darkest
Seriously,
thoughts.
why do you have a mohawk? Is there
fucking
like a
mohawk.
thought process behind it?
Somewhat, yeah, actually.
You turned 14 this summer?
First of all, yeah, exactly.
Did you have a bar mitzvah already?
Yeah,
Diet green
so it goes back to the emo punk stuff, and then I'll answer the first part about the judge, or the second part about the judges. I have been told it's distracting, and I continue to win, so I don't really give a fuck.
My goodness.
Damn, this boy coming swinging.
For the first
Bobbing
part,
and weaving.
I don't care.
I like
wear my Mohawk.
Yeah, I don't care about the mohawk. Yeah, Arnold, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I like to, be judged. If people are going to judge me, they're going to judge me. We're already judged because we have a lot of muscle and shit, and then you kind of add the mohawk to it. People are like, that guy's probably a fucking idiot. And then you just kind of open your mouth, you're real polite to him, and then you're like, oh, wow, that guy wasn't so bad after all.
Sure. You know, I will quote the eminent philosopher Ja Rule,
Do it.
the only one who judge me's above me, holla.
Yeah.
Many wise things that Mr. Ja Rule has said over the years. I still follow his musical career.
Next question before I throw up.
Oh, you got a problem with Ja Rule? Remember Ashanti? She was cool.
Yeah. He just yells, right? Murder.
What about you?
That was a great song.
Maybe he's just constipated, all that gut bacteria.
That's probably,
Oh,
yeah.
my
No,
goodness.
he definitely needs to fast for a couple hours or
Detox,
whatever.
pre-tox,
Too much dairy.
post-tox.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, Jared, favorite exercise? Go.
Oh, my God.
Actually, that was the next question. What
Kipping
are his
pull-ups.
favorite shoulder exercises, specifically lateral deltoid?
There you go. It's in the
but
name.
Any exercise, really.
Lateral raise.
Yeah, you like lateral raises?
What is your favorite overall exercise
Of all time?
of all time?
Oh, God.
There's some shit you
No
do for the
pecs,
soul.
no sex. So I like the bench press.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of Marcos's only two notable muscle groups.
Notable.
Yeah. I like
Noticeable.
deads and bench. They've always been my,
Deads and bench.
yeah, they've been my favorite.
How old were you when you
Yeah, I
started
love
working out?
deads too.
15 and a half. Like, I was like mid junior year. That's like 16?
If you were really
15.
advanced. Mid-junior year would be 16 to 17 years old.
Cool. 16.
Great. Charlie, favorite exercise?
Squats, baby.
Yeah, we know. We see your Instagram. Good
More
one.
racial shit. Marcos, do you like to train or is this all genetics? Are you drinking?
It's holy water.
James for the day.
I only train once a month now.
What do you do when you train?
I just stare at myself in the mirror and pose.
Hard posing is supposedly good training.
Increases my
is-
test level by 10,000%.
Exactly. Ben Vincent, 22. We are to understand that there were 21 other Ben Vincents that were insufficient as protocol droids and were deleted. And then 22 reigned supreme. What's the worst training advice that you were ever given and followed until you learned differently? This is a good
That's
question.
a great question.
Everyone else go first. I'll give
Charlie?
an idea.
I guess deadlift. don't matter how you get off the ground, just lift it up.
I've heard that advice. Rip and rip it. You're
Yep.
like, sweet.
Yay, herniated discs.
Oh, and you got herniated.
Yes.
Sweet. One-stop shop.
Yep.
Marcos, I'm sure you've heard your share of interesting
something
lifting
similar
advice.
like that. I mean, shit, you hear all sorts of dumb shit. You know, you're a young kid, eat 10,000 calories a day, eat triple your body weight in protein. Like, I mean, whoever did that, right, guys?
You really tried the triple of body weight and protein thing?
Yeah, 100%.
I've tried 2.5 for like years. Yeah.
That's
I mean, at that point, I'm
burdensomely
drinking.
difficult.
Yes.
Yeah. Every shake is like over 100 grams. You're eating like chicken.
Oh my God.
Meat was hard to come by, so I probably had 100 grams a day throughout high school or something.
Oh, man.
Still
Meat.
built that
I'm
tissue.
from Iceland. I can't get meat.
Iceland.
Beef meat is so expensive. Highs kill the cow.
Fish kill cows.
You look great
fished
though.
for your protein?
No. Well, I mean, sometimes.
A father figure has to be present to teach you how to fish.
Oh boy. Well, I would. You mean like Batman?
Oh, that's
We'll
coming.
We'll get to that.
That's
Stay
coming.
calm. I wonder what my worst advice I ever followed was to the T. Man, it's tough because there's been so much dog shit. Ooh, train to failure. Every working set has to go to failure and beyond because that's where the growth is.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar.
I just overreached every month for like 2 years straight.
Oh yeah. But that's when you're young and dumb and you feel great.
Yeah.
And like, God damn, I can't move.
I mean,
Perfect.
I told you my training story from when I started. It was 2 hours before school. I had 2 weights courses because I was a TA for one of them. So that was the 3 hour, but the hour and a half blocks. So you only have 4 classes a day? Was it
We
3
had
hour
that.
blocks? So I was in school training for both of those blocks, and then I would go after school for 3.5 hours, and then I would go home and do P90X.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and I did that for all the 2 years in high school that I
You did
trained.
P90X?
I did everything. I trained all the fucking time.
Why?
Because that's probably the worst advice. It was just like, the harder you go, the more muscle you're going to build and shit. The better you'll be. I was mentally tough. I had a lot of injuries, though.
Okay, Vegeta.
There's no MRV.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist.
Yes, but I mean, I built like
Transcended.
60 pounds of tissue in the first 6 months.
Holla. Good genetics.
Yeah, very
All right,
good. It was
let's just
stupid.
stop beating around the bush.
It was very good.
Very interesting profile named Jared_Feather
Oh, it sounds stupid.
asked himself and the panel the following question. Who is your favorite and least favorite superhero, comma, Jared? question mark?
way.
That's a good question.
Let's get into it.
I think we can just leave the favorite part out. There's so many good ones. There's so many good superheroes, Marcos, right?
I mean,
You know what I
everybody
mean?
Marvel is just great.
They're amazing. But
The blind lawyer guy.
the one guy that thinks he's a superhero and has like parent issues and shit.
You mean the guy with a lot of money and no friends?
Yeah, and he's DC. No, like Batman?
Oh.
Awful. Batman is not a superhero. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I'm coughing just like Superman was when Batman had the choice to fucking kill him because he aerosoled the fucking shit that Superman's allergic to because he's a straight up bitch. List of Batman's allergies.
Martha.
Pussy ass motherfuckers.
Mom's
fear.
name Martha.
List of Superman's allergies are fucking really common chemical elements.
So what we're establishing is that a very creative maker of the comic books decided, let's just like pretend Batman had a chance against someone with superpowers. This is what he would do. But if it was real fucking life, Mike,
Yeah, in real
Batman would be
life,
fucking dead against anyone.
Superman is a schoolboy piece of shit.
against the Korean guy who owns the dry cleaner.
Yeah,
probably.
seriously.
That's a jacked ass dry cleaner owner.
That's what I'm saying.
There's so many Batman
You
fans. I
come
can't
in,
wait to
Charlie
get
owns a
flagged.
dry cleaning.
Bane.
It turns out like there's
Korean
no machines.
Bane.
He just rotates the shit around him with his gravity field. You're like, is that like? He's like, it's $5. It's the same price. Just throw it in.
I'Marcos Batman.
I hate the motherfucker.
Bane is a
And
drug
his
addict.
biggest enabler is fucking Alfred. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. You got somebody today.
Yeah.
I'll cover everything. Don't worry. Just go to bed. I got this.
Exactly. Alfred tries
Instead
to
of
get
Alfred
him to
being like,
stop.
yo, homie, yo, Bruce, let me holler at you for a minute, fam. Know what I mean? I think you need therapy, bro. I think with all this money, you can do a lot of good. And maybe play some Xbox or some shit. I don't know. Learn how to play backgammon. Learn some useful shit. Learn how to fish. I'll teach you. Instead, just, here's your fucking suit, bro. Go.
He didn't give him the suit, dickhole. Alfred's trying to stop him. You didn't even know Batman. You don't know Batman in life. You don't know him in the
In
comics.
life.
You don't know who Alfred is. You don't know anything. You know nothing. How are you even speaking right now,
First
bro?
of all, you're not even a real Russian because you like Batman.
What is that even supposed to mean?
You're a race trader.
Batman's
Exactly. The enemy.
American.
Yep.
Well, I'm supposed
Way
to
to
hate
go.
Superman then.
That
What the
guy
fuck?
too.
Oh, let's
Fucking
look at the list
cornbread
of
fucking-
Russian villains in the Marvel Universe. Omega Red got dildos hanging out his fucking body. Ate fucking dildos. Fuck that. It wasn't a goddamn insult. What? Where are my dildos, Marcos?
In that fucking closet behind you. Nice try, Omega.
And then the worst part is in that dumbass Iron. No, the movie was good. Iron Man 2. They had that. What's his name? That one dude who played the wrestler.
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke play Omega Red, and like
I
swear
don't
to
think
God.
that was Omega Red, bro. I think you got that mixed up, you dumb DC.
So then, who was
Jock.
he? Who was he?
I don't fucking know.
It was fucking Omega Red. It's the
It
same
wasn't-
shit.
It wasn't Omega Red.
Okay, but it really was because he was a Russian guy, and he's the only one Russian villain in the Marvel Universe, and that's him.
Batman sucks, and I hope everyone comes to terms with that. Most
anyway,
useless fucking character in the history of
Mickey
all fucking
Rourke was
comic
playing
books.
Omega Red, and he was trying to speak Russian. It was fucking embarrassing. He was like, "Yes, go, blah, 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 blah."
was
I'm
bad.
like, he literally just babbled.
It was really
nonsense.
Cool. Anyway, next question. Batman sucks.
That one sucks.
Just wait till James gets back. He's gonna hear about it.
I can't wait.
Seriously, because in page 17 of Article 4.4.
Yep, he'll beat you in a technical debate.
Real life, Batman's dead. Any fight. Joker would whoop his fucking ass.
Let
Because
me
he'll actually kill someone.
describe something to you. When Tony Stark crashes in a metal suit, force transfer is essentially 100%. He would instantly die when
Right
getting hit
on,
by
I
anything.
agree.
Bro, he calculated that in the suit.
Because Batman didn't calculate the shit. Batman's super fucking
in
genius.
his
you idiot.
fucking leather fucking S&M suit. Yeah, whatever.
Who has a
Yeah.
problem with that? Remember him with Catwoman in that fucking movie? With Batman was Scott Sound guy. Who was Batman banging in that one movie?
Ra's al
Nicole-
Ghul daughter.
Yeah,
No.
Rago's, yeah.
Nicole Kidman? No,
Ragu's daughter, whatever.
maybe.
No.
Not when Halle Berry was Catman, right? The Catwoman, right?
No. That's her own movie. That movie bombed, by the way.
I've
Yeah,
never
it did.
seen it.
Val Kilmer was Batman, and one of these hoes
Yeah, that makes sense.
was Catwoman, and she was just totally S&M'd out. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's great times. All right. Jules Rees, 98, says, "How do I be like you when I grow up?" And then a crying face.
Don't grow up.
How old are you now, Jared?
25.
So you've been training almost 10 years.
Yeah, 10
How's
years.
it feel?
Oh, great. Yeah.
Where do you feel you've made the most growth and improvement? Give us 3 points in your training career.
Well, this is really away from the question that the person asked, but I am down for this.
It's not a person, it's an Instagram account.
Oh, you're right.
Could be a bot for all we know.
The 3 most...
Significant times, I guess, in your training career, yeah. Meaningful, I don't know, growth-wise, like,
That's some shit I gotta think about, man.
well, that's what you're here for. Go ahead.
Start thinking.
I don't
Whatever
know.
comes to mind first.
There was this one time I benched 410. That was super neat.
I bet that fucking felt great.
It did. And then 3 weeks later, I tore my ACL meniscus playing. Actually, that is perfect. That is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I tore my ACL meniscus playing Big Pink volleyball, and that was the same time that I began taking classes with Mike. And I thought I knew everything. You know what I mean? We all fucking went through that phase. I was right on that peak of the
Ego.
Dunning-Kruger. But tore my ACL, and I instantly had to humble myself to everything, and a part of that being my intellect and courses I was taking with Mike. And I ended up learning the most I probably accumulatively had throughout my course of undergrad in 1 or 2 semesters, simply by I would train based on some principles that Mike would say, you can do this for your right quad, and there's some cross-sectional transfer to the other quad so you can kind of keep size. And I was learning little things like that about injuries, and then I was also learning how to put more volume toward other muscle groups and sort of how we can modify things in training for injury. But I learned a lot through that process, and I think getting injured definitely lowered the ego a lot because I thought I knew everything already. And yeah, that
Makes sense. Charlie, what's the worst injury you've ever had?
Worst injury in training?
Yeah.
That wasn't
Tell us about the non-training one.
Which one?
The arm.
Which
Oh
one?
god.
When you were a kid.
Oh, when I flipped over the railing and fell 7 feet, head first, and I wanted my head to hit the ground, so I put my arm out, and my arm just gave way. Got knocked unconscious after my face hit the ground. I woke up in a blur, and I saw my elbow here, and my hand over here, and I thought I dislocated my elbow somehow. And then I finally looked down, and I see my elbow down here, and there's just another bend in my arm with my hand hanging out here. and I kept trying to flip it up. It kept falling down. Flip it up, falling down, and I passed out from the pain again.
How old are you?
That was in 8th grade.
You doctor yet?
You should have been able to fix that shit by then.
Yeah,
seriously.
No, I've never had any really training
Disgraceful.
injuries. I mean, like minor ones, like like irritations with my SI, stuff like that.
Same.
But besides that, I've had no tears or
Y'all motherfuckers need mobility work.
none of that.
Supple
Fuck
leopards.
would you know about that? Staring at
And
white girls
yoga.
doing yoga doesn't count as mobility work.
True that.
It's not?
You're like, man, I've been doing a whole lot less mobility work. Well, come to think of it, I don't think I've ever done mobility work then.
What would that be, though?
What is mobility work? All right, speaking of mobility work and white girls, Brandon Marcos, 1996. A gentleman I can only assume was born in 1996. Tits or ass, Jared?
Mother of God.
How do they compare in importance? Mine is 90-10 ass to tits.
Wow.
That's a very disrespectful question, assuming...
Thank you so much for putting it out there.
Assuming our sexual preference?
assuming that his girlfriend isn't a raging psychopath who's watching this and she's going to judge him on his answer.
Well, luckily, I don't have one. So.
Are you single?
Yeah, I'm seeing.
Do you want to mingle? You've been warned, Instagram. All right, ass or tits? And or both?
Both, 60-40 ass to tits.
Amen, brother.
What about the tits?
What do you mean?
Like, is it? We're talking
Are you
size?
size queen? At that point?
Size queen.
Like titties,
thing,
you know what I'm
right?
saying? At the gym, like titties at the gym. Perky.
Wait, we're not talking about pecs? No. You guys are pigs, man. You guys are pigs.
Not all of us are obsessed with exercise at all times like you, Marcos.
I just want to preface the next question by my mom's been watching the show, so sorry, Mom.
Hello.
I know you're disappointed.
What about you?
First time
These are
you've
my
disappointed
friends.
her.
What about you? I want to know your answer, and so does your mother.
I could give you Marcos's answers. You should. Tits, yes. Ass, yes. And before you ask the next question, he's like, yes. Are there any of them around? Can I see some?
Show it to me, come on.
No, do it.
Whip it out.
Let's see it.
Show it to me.
It's
Nice.
huge. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Marcos, have you ever seen an ass that was like too big?
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Describe it.
It's disgusting. The first thing I think about is hygiene. It's like, how does
Physically, how
said
do you get in there
person get all the dingleberries and cheese out of there?
Oh, God. Ass cheese, huh?
Yeah, man. It's disgusting. It's probably like cottage cheese with pineapple chunks falling out of the shower. Choose your questions
I
wisely.
am drinking
Choose
pineapple
wisely.
sparkling water.
Yeah,
Thank
you are. Yeah, you are.
Enjoy, Charlie's. God damn, Marcos. The fuck is wrong with you?
Hurry up, man. I got a whole bunch of questions for Jared.
This isn't about you, dog. It's about fucking Instagram. Hit up a question while I look for one. Go, go.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Who is your greatest bodybuilding inspiration?
Man, I don't have like idols and shit. People are saying lines at expos, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
What an asshole.
No,
I hope
no.
nobody idolizes you, you piece of shit.
Don't idolize me. It's that simple. When people are like, Jared, big fan, I'm like, no, you're not. You're messaging me on Instagram. I appreciate it, and I will give you advice. Absolutely. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, don't pedestal me. That's
Yeah, I don't
weird,
like
right?
that.
So you don't have a favorite bodybuilder?
I really like Dennis Wolf had a really cool look before he went through that shit. The proportions were really good. Big Ramy's just the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life, mass-wise. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
What's he weigh now? Like 340?
He was like 350 in that most recent picture,
Yeah,
I
I
think.
saw that
It
shit.
was stupid. And then, Phil Heath is the man. Yeah, Phil Heath is the guy to beat, so Phil looks amazing, especially in person.
Next question. Why does he prefer PPL split over UL? 2 question marks.
I don't prefer splits. I prefer to separate the muscle groups depending on sort of the SRA links of the muscle. This is a sports scientist podcast, so they came for this shit. I'm not going to explain what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
So I separate basically whenever I think the muscle will be mostly recovered and ready to train again. So if I'm training lateral delts, biceps, they'll go at the end of like my pull or legs, or depending on how the split's set up at the end of like push sessions. My chest at the moment can now handle like 1.5 times per week training. It used to be able to handle 2.5 or 3. And once I realized I wasn't recovering, I just fucking moved into the next thing.
Yeah, that's the wasn't recovering part's important. I think people kind of sometimes, in bodybuilding, when you're trying to so thoroughly hypertrophy everything, upper body is a hell of a Napoleonic goal for
Yeah.
a single workout. Like,
Yeah.
really? You're going to do your whole upper body in one workout? Nah, I'll watch. Go ahead. You're going to lose steam by the time you get through half the shit. Like, if you're a power lifter and it's like you really train your pushing muscles hard, but the back and like your workout, Charlie, like back, shoulders, biceps is like, we do it.
Yeah.
But like you hit your chest and triceps and shoulders hard.
Yeah.
But like if you're straight up bodybuilding, there's no way you can do justice to
No.
both chest and back in the
No,
same work.
totally.
That's insane.
Yeah. And another thing, I guess, I get to train 6 days a week, and I can. If I was to train 4 days a week, I would probably do a fucking upper lower.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's just how it would have to be.
I want to say something on that. I was talking to my buddy Ethan Grossman, who's a young genius, much like yourself, and great guy. No social media though. Also a bodybuilder, aspiring bodybuilder, and he's
Well, I
like
am a
you,
bodybuilder.
very logical. Plans out all his stuff, very goal oriented, and I see a lot of kids coming up like yourself and him and a few other guys that I know.
Old man speech, Marcos.
No, in their mid-20s, whatever. And, I got into this game 20 years ago. So it's about 20 years ago.
Ain't no
And-
game, motherfucker.
And I think bodybuilding historically, no offense, has been like a bro and like a dumbass and like a meathead sort of thing. And now with the internet and all the knowledge that people are pooling together, it's sort of turning into a nerd's game where you're able to prolong your career. You're smarter about your training. Periodization comes in play and all these important factors that make you grow that much more rather than like, hey, I've been doing the same fucking workouts, the same splits for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And I'm injured as fuck. It's like, no, I'm going to
Yeah.
cut back the volume here, add here, eat this, do that. And it's incredible to watch. I love where this is all headed, even though the nerds are getting bigger than me.
Yeah,
but
I don't
whatever.
think it's a issue to say, or you don't really need to say no offense. I think we all know that. It's fucking broy, and that's why I said people fucking judge us for looking like this. But I think, people are, letting their careers play out a little longer, and everything like that is definitely cool. But thinking more logically.
100%.
Bringing in that phasic, that's the big thing that I think Renaissance has done, and hopefully I'm doing that pretty well with my social media. Bringing in that more phasic approach to bodybuilding, like you said, there's periodization involved. Never used to be like that. It was like train balls to the walls, you get hurt, you take a low volume period, that was your fucking periodization.
Yeah.
That was it. And
Auto-regulation by injury.
Yeah, and now we know when and why to do those things, and we brought sports periodization over to sort of the bodybuilding community, and now I can do that for Renaissance, and it's really cool.
Well said, Jared.
Thank you, good sir.
Youth.
To be young again.
Marcus, if I asked how old you are, would that ruin like your game on the streets? Or?
No.
How old are you?
No game.
Take a guess, baby.
51.
You said you've been training for 20 years?
34.
Wait, you told me when you started. Never, I know how old
76.
you are.
I'll be 37 in 2 months.
14. What are you, 37?
37. Calm down, bro. But look at the skin. Touch the skin. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's very
Ooh,
smooth.
that's
Yeah.
so soft.
People don't age.
Even
Yeah.
Charlie is like, that's some
It's like
good skin.
collagen.
Yeah.
White people age fast. Jewish people age the
How old are
fastest.
you? Like 56?
I'm actually 14. So the bald spot, yeah. Jewish
You look
hairline.
great for 14.
Thank you so much for a Jewish 14. Jared, Noah Arnie
Oh, boy. What up, Noah?
says, "Hey Jared, you have all this beautiful knowledge inside of your head, but you decide to cover it with that hideous haircut. Why?"
We've already
But
answered
on a serious note, what is some general advice you'd give to someone looking to be the best coach they can be it online or in person?
that. I think you had a good story on your Instagram about this, I think, Noah. Or maybe you asked a question. But it's data collection is huge. I think a certain level of statistical knowledge is probably needed, so that way you know how variables and how they work and how you can track them. But most importantly, just being yourself and being kind and personable, knowing people are going to come to you with issues, knowing that people are people, they're not going to always be adherent to the process, and sort of calculating for when those things will happen. Like you just sort of know what to say to these people and not freak out. So like I have some friends that are new to coaching, and I'll watch them interact with their clients, and they'll be like, "So what do you weigh?" And they'll be like, "This," and they'll be like, "Oh my fucking god, we're supposed to water cut. What are you fucking doing?" Shit like that. Don't do that shit. Just make them feel better about it, and then modify where a need be. So I think just being yourself and being very personable is very important.
You don't harass your clients?
Sometimes they need it. You got to really learn. So, what drives athletes? Luckily, most of the people that I work with are those psycho bodybuilder people who they kind of want you to yell at them a little bit, or you kind of know how that mentality is. And when it's time to sit down and have that come to Jesus with them, they're okay with it. You don't start it off like that, though. So, I mean, you just got to learn athlete psychology, know who's more intrinsically motivated, sort of monitor who's less intrinsically and more externally motivated. You learn. You just kind of... I've had, I've even had chats with Nick, client was like, oh, he was a little harsh. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. I'll apologize to the client. You never be afraid to say sorry. I didn't realize I was coming off that harsh. And a lot of stuff gets lost in translation through emails and shit sometimes. So, just making sure they understand what's a misunderstanding or what you meant by certain things.
Your diet is making you emotional. Shut up. Stop whining.
Yeah, I can say that to some people.
Coach Arnold. That'd be amazing. People would pay money for that.
Hopefully that was okay. There's probably plenty more I could say. And I can chat with Noah about it in person.
Wow. All right. I got a quick question, too, actually. Have you gentlemen ever been afraid to love?
Afraid to love?
Love? What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Dun, dun. Anyway, Marcos, talk to me about love and opening up your heart to new experiences. Go.
If you got hate in your heart, let it out.
Wow. That's why I go to. That's why.
We all know how that line ends.
That's why I listen to
What line? What are you talking about?
Seriously, Marcos, talk to us about heartbreak. You've had it before. I know you have. Lord Jesus, I know you've had it.
I think if you got love in there, you got to let it out. Along with the hate, but
yes, we know your concept of hate.
Yeah.
Very pro hate.
Both answers are the same. Let it out.
He's got it.
Just let it out.
Charlie, have you ever been hurt before?
Not physically.
By someone I love?
Yeah.
No.
Wow, lucky you.
Well,
I
he doesn't
don't
have
love
many
many
feelings.
people. Yeah.
I see.
In Korean. Feelings.
Fuck.
What are those?
Trying to stay PC. Can't with you motherfuckers.
Shit. Yeah, Jared.
Yeah.
Jared, who's ever really disappointed you in your life?
Where are we going? Where are we going with this?
I don't know, Jared. You've never had anyone disappoint you, so it's a moot question.
Everybody.
Jesus Christ.
He's sitting right next to you, man.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody who was ever pretty important to me. It's not a big deal. You just kind of.
Well, that's a lesson in expectations. You got to learn the hard way, young buck.
I still give people the benefit of the doubt for the most part, except for with my trust. I don't fuck around with that. I'm leaving my apartment last. I'll shut the lights off. You can get out of my apartment and all that kind of shit.
Why did you just looked at me and Charlie? You didn't look at Mike.
No.
I'm Jewish. I'll take all of your shit. And I'll technically.
Hey, you ever seen my 13 cents on my dresser?
You can't drop pennies.
Yeah, man. No, you just kind of get. Whenever you start looking at things more, this is actual advice. The more rational you become, the less that shit sort of affects you because you stop thinking with your emotions during the time that person has hurt you, and you can talk to them about shit instead.
Okay, Seneca.
And come to an understanding about why the situation is the way it is. And once you both understand that situation, if it's still the same outcome, you're rational and you understand that. It's still going to suck, but you understand the situation.
That's well said for a 25-year-old, but that's you had a rough upbringing and you had to learn that on your own. A lot of people haven't learned that, and they're twice and three times your age. So bless your soul, child.
Marcos, when you were raised by a team of butlers and maids, did you ever feel rejection by society at large, or was it always just plantain fields and
Tobacco
coconut
fields?
milk?
Yes.
Wow.
The purest coconut milk.
Delivered from Gaia's breast itself.
Yeah. I would take off my diamond-studded velvet glove and just backhand whoever was there closest to me. Yeah. The help, as we call them.
Oh, yes. Damn, Jared, that was deep as fuck, man.
I've been offered perspective lately.
Yeah.
A lot of perspective. We've had a lot of conversations. When you're in Australia, I think we talked on the phone at like 3 a.m. my time, like 4 times.
Yeah, I assure you I didn't inconvenience myself. It was the middle of the day for me.
Oh, I know. I didn't inconvenience myself either because
You boys got a schedule.
I could have fucking sleep. I was in the middle of an existential crisis.
I was worried about you.
Yeah.
Charlie, does it feel strange that other people have what are called emotions and they feel them?
It makes me uncomfortable sometimes because then I see other people feel for real though. I feel
Really?
people feel emotions sometimes, and I the logic part of my brain can't.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Like, why are you doing this?
What's
to
an
yourself?
example of that
Totally.
situation? Like you're at a funeral, people are crying, you're like, these idiots, this guy was a scumbag. Like that or no?
Even if they weren't a scumbag,
Yeah, I've been in that situation.
they're,
plenty.
Honestly,
they're past
I
now.
don't-
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah,
But do you like
logic.
bottle it all up, go home and rage out or something like that?
Over someone that's passed that I don't know,
So sometimes I
or
think
someone that I
might-
know personally.
Well, like so like every now and again, like so you have a spectrum of sort of emotionality or at least expressive emotionality with people.
Yeah.
Like some people will go to a funeral of someone they knew cursorily, and they will just bawl, and you're like,
Yeah,
huh,
yeah.
that's
I don't
interesting.
understand that,
Are you one of
yeah.
those people? You like to cry a lot, huh? Now I don't
I'm
know.
okay with
This is not anywhere close to a funeral, but I'll tell you this. Every time I fly a lot, unfortunately, or whatever, I travel and I watch a lot of movies on a plane. And I cry watching many, many movies. This is not a joke. The theme to the Superman movie, the recent one with Michael Cavill or whatever, Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Like, dun, dun. Like, when that comes on, I'm like, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. The entire Superman, I cry 50 times during the Superman movie. Like, when the little kid Superman starts to, like, hear and see everything, and then he hides, and mom shows up, and she's like, you can just focus on my voice and pretend you're in an island. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm standing next to somebody. I'm crying, physically, tears running down my eyes. That's normal for me.
No,
But
I
about
feel
like
that.
real life shit, it just doesn't. That's
I'm the same way.
movies
So the
just
only
get to
time
me,
I
man.
cry is movies. So, like,
yeah,
the
soundtracks
last
and shit.
one I saw was Coco.
I thought you were going to say the last
Chris
samurai.
said he bawled his
I
ass
was
off.
bawling my ass off on a plane, and people are like looking at me and like snot crying, like
Jesus.
just crying.
I've only cried at one
Yeah.
movie,
Which one?
and this was right before your class. I told you about it. It was Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, that
my
one's-
God.
yeah,
when he
that was
breaks
good.
the car.
Yes, I cried so
good.
fucking hard.
I cried during
That
it.
Yeah,
poor
but when
little fucking girl.
actual people are around me, like with emotions, like
It's okay to be vulnerable. Vulnerable. It's all right to cry once in a while. I do find with my more brainiac friends, the brain takes over the heart a little bit, and that's okay. Don't change who you guys are. You guys don't have to cry. I'll cry for everyone
Are you
here.
legally allowed to touch other people like that?
Bro. We're in Philadelphia. We're not in New York.
We're not next to a school, too.
He's a shaman. He's allowed to do these.
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
things,
that's right.
That's right. Thanks, Chuck.
Let's get one more question out of the old bag, shall we? Well, just one more here.
Una pregunta más para
Una
Jared.
pregunta,
Jared.
vamos a
that real?
preguntar.
Was that real?
Yes.
Yeah, he speaks Spanish.
That was real.
Yeah, it was real Spanish.
I want subtitles.
Jesus. The entire show to Spanish?
No, I want
that would be a
that
great
part
idea.
right there.
Not that terrible idea. Some of the jokes are probably lost in translation. Jared,
I'll make it work.
what was the biggest lesson you learned after your first pro natural
What is all
show?
these lessons, man? I'm a fucking life
Well,
coach.
you're someone's idol. Or a lot of
Yeah,
people
they worship you.
They
Fucking
worship
life
you.
coach. That's-
Would you prefer questions about side delts?
Sure. Lesson after my pro
First-
win or pro card?
first
What did they
pro
say?
Let's do
win.
both. What after you win, you don't learn much. We all know that. So,
Yeah.
what did you learn after your first pro?
Win?
No, idiot! Your first pro show where you shit the bed a little bit.
Well, literally, I learned a lot about peaking and things like that, how it works. I learned how to correct mistakes with peaking really well. I don't know if they want like some life coach shit. I don't know. I learned to. Oh wow, that was wrong.
What am I, James Hoffman?
Yeah, I just I got to talk to a lot of cool people backstage. Like Alberto Nunez was there, Cliff Wilson was there. It was really
Alberto
neat.
has great hair.
Beautiful flowing locks of love.
Damn it! Why didn't I have hair? I would have long. By the way, if I could grow hair, I would have long flowing locks. No joke.
Long hair's annoying to deal with, though.
Yeah, but it's worth it because you're a fucking
Yeah, I
man.
guess. So.
that was definitely something. Watching the veterans back there and seeing kind of how they're more relaxed and they're not freaking out about anything and just like, we're gonna go get on a freaking stage, whatever. So that was really neat because I was like, oh damn, I don't gotta be stressing about anything. No use for cortisol right now.
Yeah.
So I was just chilling and chatting with Alberto, and they were like, all right, everyone come out on stage. We're like, oh fuck, all right, let's go. So that was really neat. Afterward, I don't know, man. I just I went immediately the next week into the other show where I won, and I just was kind of upset about not doing so well because I knew I fucked my peak up and shit. So
you won even though you fucked your peak up, or you got your peak when you won,
the next weekend I won.
and you got your peak set.
I didn't even try to peak.
You just showed up.
And I think if you're a beginner, fuck peaking. Don't even try it.
Just show up lean.
Yeah. get in shape a couple weeks out and just start increasing your carbohydrates slowly and eating to the show and go look good. You already look good, so just go fucking
Practice on your edging. And just
fucking go pose,
What do you mean edging?
what?
Why'd you ask that?
Wait, isn't that what peaking means?
Define edging. Go.
Peaking?
You just said another word. That's not a definition.
Is this PG-13? I don't think he can.
I don't believe
No,
it is.
edging is like
It's
right
not
before you climax. It's like I'm coming at home, I'm coming at the gym, I'm coming everywhere, except I'm not coming because I hold it back a little bit.
edging.
That's edging.
Fucking brilliant. Are you into that shit, Marco?
I've done like a
Unspeakable things in the name of
that too,
a God that was
but
never your
conscious. Yeah, what? Beelzebub? I have consciously worked on celibacy.
What?
Yeah, you got to store that chi,
own.
bro.
Are you sick or some shit?
Of course.
Scotty, shut this down. Marcos isn't feeling well. Folks, we'll be back. Never, because Marcos is unwell. Get away from me. You're having like a fucking total recall. God damn it, you beat me to it.
Got it.
You've been working on celibacy.
Oh no, not now. I mean, I did it once.
It's like
Drive me crazy.
Dominican celibacy is when you don't bang for 2 hours and you're like, something wrong with me.
Dios mío.
Yeah, in the name of getting jacked. I don't know if you guys ever did this, but when I was a kid,
No!
I remember.
Oh.
I remember that whole if you jack off but you don't come before you train little trend went around for a while. I tried it for like 2 months.
Did you end up in jail?
No, you go to your bathroom at home and you jack off until you feel like you need to come. You don't come, then you go train.
Do you hate yourself?
You wash your hands as well.
Right, that's a good idea.
With soap
Couldn't
and water.
afford soap. So did it work?
Come on, I don't know. Everything fucking worked because I thought it was gonna work.
Right.
Yeah.
Were you uncomfortable at the gym?
Absolutely.
Okay. For how long were you uncomfortable?
For like the first couple working sets, and then I was like, all right, I'm not horny.
Because you had a
anymore.
semi.
Right.
Yeah.
And then do you skeet later? Like, do you come home and
Yeah.
J&D?
Yeah. Of course.
It's not sustainable to just keep going.
No, not at all. Yeah, of course.
The worst podcast in the history of fucking.
All right, folks, that's it. Jared is done answering your questions.
Yes.
Jared, any message to anyone, to the audience?
Thanks for all the questions.
That was convincing. Jared's a piece of shit, everybody. Charlie, thank you so much for being here. As always, Marcos, you're fucking weird, but I love you anyway. Folks, Instagram, we love you the mostest. See you next time.